Hey everyone, what is up today? Because I have a workflow that has seriously been a lifesaver for me. I'm talking specifically about making AI talking head videos or any kind of interview content where two people share one audio track. You know those podcast experts from tools like NotebookLM where everything lives on a single mono or stereo file? If you try to lip sync two different AI characters to that single file, you will immediately hit the worst kind of uncanny valley. Both avatars will try to move their mouths to the same words at the exact same time, which looks completely wrong. When person A is speaking, person B's avatar will still be moving its mouth, and the reverse happens when person B takes the floor. This ends up looking off, deeply unprofessional, and honestly just distracting for your viewers. So the entire core problem we must solve is wonderfully simple. We need to split that shared audio into separate files, one for each speaker. This ensures each AI actor only moves their mouth when they are actually delivering their specific lines. While this sounds basic, doing this manually for a long interview is an absolute chore. I'll briefly show you the manual path first, then the faster AI-driven tools that save your sanity. Finally, I will show you how I stitch this all into a smooth social media workflow using Vizard to conquer editing fatigue. Let's start with the manual route, because you can use any digital audio workstation for this. Whether you prefer free tools like Audacity or paid options like Logic or Ableton, the principle remains the same. The process involves importing the full podcast audio and zooming way in on the waveform to see the details. You must listen intently for speaker turns and those tiny bits of overlap or crosstalk that happen naturally. Then you carefully cut and drag each speaker's segment over to their own dedicated track for separation. You also need to check for stray breaths or unwanted overlaps and apply clean fades so you don't get an annoying click sound. Finally, you export two perfectly clean, separated audio files ready for your avatars. However, if you have a 20 or 30-minute episode with interruptions and short interjections, this manual work can easily take over an hour. For anyone new to this process, this level of precision quickly becomes tedious and deeply frustrating. This is precisely where automated speaker separation tools swoop in to save you a massive amount of valuable time. One particular tool I rely on heavily and that many others recommend is called SpeakerSplit. You simply upload your raw MP3 file, and the AI automatically detects all the speaker turns and separates the audio onto isolated tracks. It even generates a fully diarized transcript, meaning it labels which words belong to which speaker. For me, a full 25 to 30-minute interview often finishes processing in under 2 minutes, which is just insane compared to manual editing. These services usually operate on a credit system, which is perfect for occasional users, so you aren't locked into a monthly subscription you barely use. The trade-off is that if you have many speakers or really messy overlaps, some manual cleanup might still be necessary. Also, that credit-based pricing can start adding up if you are churning through dozens of episodes every single month. Once you have those perfectly separated speaker files, the next logical step for many creators is voice matching your AI avatars. This is where a tool like 11 Labs really shines, not necessarily for text-to-speech, but for its powerful voice changer feature. You upload your isolated speaker audio, select the target voice or personality, and it converts the clip to match that desired tone. This is fantastic when you want your AI character to sound distinctly different from the original host, perhaps with a specific accent. The resulting audio quality from 11 Labs sounds incredible in most situations, which is why it's so popular. The primary drawbacks are that it can become pricey when operating at a high scale, and fine-tuning might still require manual input for noisy source material. So why not just stop there with the clean, perfectly voiced audio files? Because you still have the massive task of cutting the long episode into snackable viral clips for social media. You need to identify those key moments, add captions, format for portrait and landscape, and then actually post them on a consistent schedule. Consistent posting is where most creators unfortunately fail. They have great source content but lack the system to publish it all efficiently. This brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the system that makes the whole thing publishable, which is Vizard. Vizard is not replacing SpeakerSplit or 11 Labs. It absolutely complements them by handling the post-production volume. Here is the complete flow that you can copy and implement starting today for massive time savings. Step 1 is generating or downloading your long-form audio or video from your original source like NotebookLM. If you only have audio, you can easily create a simple talking head video using your chosen AI avatar later on. Step 2 involves running that raw audio through SpeakerSplit or any similar diarization tool to get those isolated tracks. Step 3 is the optional but recommended part, running each isolated speaker through 11 Labs to perfectly match your avatar's intended voices. Now you finally have clean avatar-ready audio files that are perfectly timed to the original content. For Step 4, import the long video or the newly created talking head into Vizard. Vizard's internal AI will automatically analyze the whole thing, find the most engaging sections, and create short, platform-ready clips. These clips will come out with captions, correct aspect ratios, and a few different edit styles already applied. The fifth and final step leverages Vizard's auto-schedule and content calendar features to queue everything up for posting. You set your desired posting frequency, quickly tweak any captions, and then you let the platform handle the consistent output. So what exactly makes Vizard stand out compared to using a random assortment of piecemeal tools? First, the auto-editing of viral clips. Other tools might just trim, but Vizard actively looks for engagement signals to pick the best short bites. It's like having a virtual assistant constantly handpicking the 30 to 60-second moments most likely to perform well for you. Second is the auto-schedule feature, which removes the friction of manually posting later by publishing everything for you automatically. Third, the content calendar allows you to see every single scheduled clip in one unified view for easy oversight. You can adjust orders, pause campaigns, or add team notes so your future self or your staff stays informed. Compare this to the overhead of splitting audio in one place, changing voices elsewhere, clipping in a third, and then using a separate scheduler. The complexity of that piecemeal approach is real, and it absolutely leads to inconsistent content output. Unlike simple timeline editors, Vizard focuses entirely on turning one long recording into dozens of optimized short-form posts automatically. This process saves creators hours every single week by automating the most repetitive parts of content operations. Now here are a few practical tips that I have learned from putting this entire system into daily practice. When you export those separated tracks, use consistent naming like Speaker A Female or Speaker B a Male for batch processing. Consistent naming makes batch uploading to both 11 Labs and Vizard completely painless for your workflow. Always take a quick scan for those tiny crosstalk moments like a quick or yeah that might still cause weird lip sync. If you find them, just trim those minuscule slices immediately to prevent any residual weirdness in the final cut. A critical practice is to always save the original, full, unedited track just in case you need to reprocess it later with different settings. The diarized transcript is pure gold for captioning because you can use speaker labels for clarity on multi-perspective clips. When using voice conversion, remember to use it sparingly because keeping the original voice often retains crucial authenticity. Only convert the voices when it actively supports the consistent characterization you are aiming for across your whole series. Let's quickly compare this setup against other methods so you have the complete picture of the landscape. Manual editing with Audacity is free and powerful, but it demands a huge investment of your personal time. SpeakerSplit is incredibly fast for two-speaker interviews, but that credit model will eventually become costly for high-volume producers. The voice conversion from 11 Labs is industry-leading quality, but expect to pay a premium and spend time on careful fine-tuning. Full digital audio workstations like Pro Tools offer deep control, but the learning curve and time commitment are simply too high for most daily creators. Vizard fits in specifically as the publishing engine. It is not a replacement for the cleaning and conversion steps. Its major advantage is aggressively reducing the friction involved in content operations, which is where most creators tend to burn out. So the bottom line is that separating the audio is non-negotiable if you want that professional AI talking head look. SpeakerSplit or a similar tool gets you 90% of the way there in mere minutes instead of several painful hours. 11. Labs provides the character variety you might need to keep your content feeling fresh and distinct. Then you funnel everything into Vizard to automatically generate, schedule, and manage all the short-form clips from that single long episode. This combination is the secret weapon that allows you to scale your output without completely bankrupting your personal time budget. Alright, that is the entire workflow that I use to manage complex AI interviews at scale. Try this on just one episode this week, and I guarantee you will immediately see how much time it frees up for you. If you are curious, please drop a comment below telling me which tools you are currently relying on for this kind of editing. Are you still stuck in manual editing hell, or are you already leveraging the power of AI separation tools? And if there is enough interest, I can certainly follow up with a live screen demo showing the entire process end to end. We would go from the raw Notebook LM export all the way through SpeakerSplit, 11 Labs, and finally the Vizard published sequence. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive, and I wish you all the best in your content making journey.